What's up, guys? Welcome to Heat Soaked. Forgot which episode it is, so I'm gonna keep rolling with it. I want to thanks everybody who's watching. Thank you guys. We appreciate your viewing. You guys have given us some really awesome feedback. Now that we're a couple episodes in, don't forget as we kind of go along, you're gonna see our builds, and as we progress through, you're gonna follow me at StormSpecIS on Instagram. You're gonna see what's behind you, kind of interesting, and you're gonna follow KT at CloudyIS300, and of course the pod at Heat Soaked FL. So go ahead and keep following us. Click that subscribe, click that like button, guys, and let's keep this train a moving.
Yeah.
What's up, man? How are you doing
How are you doing? Well,
today?
we're in a completely different location today.
Yes. So we're in my garage, as small as it is, but this is my one car, and this is the doctor's office, man. This is where the magic happens. This is where the surgeries become.
And speaking of cars, we got a different car back here today. I mean, what
Yeah.
is this?
Let's talk about it, man. So this is the start of a new project for me. I remember last time we had spoken a couple times about jumping into a new car, and I remember I giving you a call. I was like, "Man, where are people selling cars these days?" Like, and you were like, because I was like, "I'm all over Craigslist, I'm all over," and you're like, "No, man, everyone's selling something at Facebook Marketplace." So,
Yeah.
so that's how we ended up. We're gonna talk a little bit about that story, but this is the project. This
This
is
is Chris's new project car.
Yep.
And you're in for a treat today because we're going to relive that day.
Yes, we are, man. So it was a cloudy day. No, let's see, man. I think
No, well, it was a Sunday in February.
it was a Sunday in February. It
Uh,
was live. I remember we invited you over, you and the wife over for dinner. We
mhm.
were just hanging out. Nothing too crazy was happening. And I had just been,
And we had gotten there early in the day. Me and my wife,
yes.
we got to your place. We were just, hanging out like we normally do. And then the wives decided they wanted to go out. They wanted to do something fun
Hmm.
for the day. So the boys are just on the
Yep.
couch. And this guy decides to screencast Marketplace onto his TV.
Man, what else was I gonna do? I was like,
So then and there, we're shopping cars,
Yep,
right?
that's absolutely right. So we started looking. Man, I was definitely on my search for a GS. I wanted a GS for no apparent reason other than I liked the way it looked, and there was just a lot of really good projects out there when I started scrolling Facebook Marketplace. But I don't have a Facebook, so
Yeah.
I had to ask
Yeah.
Miss KT here to be like, "Hey,
And just
can you
so
message this guy?"
just so you guys know, like, this is stuff that we always did anyway. So I was just coming over, and I knew he was always browsing cars. We're both always on Marketplace
all,
looking for
all,
deals,
all the
just
time.
trying to find stuff. So this was just like another
No,
regular Sunday anyway. I
yeah,
mean, it
like
wasn't
I mean,
anything.
we had eaten lunch, like we were just chilling. There was nothing to be expected of it, and then all of a sudden, I remember earlier that day, I had asked KT to be like, "Hey, man, can you message this guy about this IS that's up for sale?" Probably nothing, man. He's just seems like he's in a hurry to get rid of it. Let's see what we can do about it. And I was like, "Listen, lowball the shit out of him." Like,
All right, but before we get to that, right? So this was in the afternoon. We're just looking at cars, and you had a budget in your mind,
yeah.
right? What were you kind of looking to
I
spend?
was looking from probably anywhere from like probably 2 to 3.
Okay.
Geez, nothing too crazy, right? I wanted a project, something I can get my hands on, but I wanted something that was going to be fruitful. I wanted, just like everyone searches for their next project, they're searching for something that's going to be something that they create really well and kind of put towards the future. And that's kind of my main goal. And as we kind of go forward, that was my main focus. Is I wanted to find something I one had never done before.
Mhm.
Two, of course, the platform as we talked about was the rear wheel drive, V6 or V8, and of course, typing into Facebook Marketplace, by the way, when you don't have a profile, is the second hardest thing I've done on a computer for a while, man, or on an iPad. Because as I'm screening this, man, it's just reverting back, sending me to California, and I'm like, oh god,
Yeah.
here we go again. So yeah, that's kind of that was my main focus of this. So something within that 2-3 range, and going from there.
And you were doing it while I was doing it on my phone. So we were looking at the same cars
We
for the most part too.
we were tandem searching on
Yeah.
this.
And
It's hard to
and
cope.
so a couple of the cars we were coming across, you had a couple GS300s on your
Yes.
list.
Yeah.
I think we found a 350Z, a clapped out one at one point.
Yeah, I found a G35 clapped out. Like, of course, it's like, oh, hey, not running. There's tons of not running shell onlys and stuff like that. A couple SC 300s I was looking
Mhm.
at. because that was a good
I
option.
found you a couple Subarus, but
You did.
you shot them down real quick.
You did. You even found me an FRS, and I also shot that down immediately. It was like, need motor. I was like, no thanks. So I was like, although we can switch it out, it's not worth it right now. Let's find something running. So
So let's talk about the car that you almost got. It ended up being obviously you ended up getting this, but
of
at
course,
one point we were looking at a GS 300, and I think it
yes,
was like matte black. It was like rattle can matte
yeah.
black,
Hmm.
but it was running and it was within your budget
Yeah,
too.
yeah. It was like what was it? It was like 1350 or something like that. The guy was like, listen, take it. I'm trying to get it off my hands. It was in South Florida. We were just searching around. We were like, because when you think about a project car, you're like, I can drive 100 miles. What's a couple hours away gonna do for me? So I always extend that, that range of area. And that's how we kind of looked into that. I was really interested in the platform. It was 4-door. It was something that I know it was going to be easy to work on. There's plenty of the junkyard parts. And that was something that for me, it was like, oh, okay, I have something I could use temporarily as a daily if needed, or something I could kind of swing back and always do a manual swap if needed. So, I mean, there's plenty of those, like I said, junkyard parts. And that was my favorite thing.
Yeah.
That's exactly what I was looking for, just like any of us would look for on something. But that was, for some reason, man, the GS300 would just call my name because I like that style.
It was pretty clean for what, like a $1,500 car, you
Yeah,
said.
yeah, it was like
We
15
knew we
something
were gonna have to
or
put in
13
work
something.
because it's a project car,
Yeah, of course,
but
yeah.
it had the bones, looked
Hmm.
good. It had a 2JZ
It did,
also,
yep, 2JZ
and that was
GE.
one of the big things you were looking for too.
Yeah.
The engine itself was one of the big things you were looking for.
Yes, yes, of course. I mean, of course, anytime one of us look for a project car, it's got to be something that, like I said, reliable. Tons of aftermarket parts you can find. 2JZ GE is going to be one of those that has all of that available to it. Yes, am I going to have to look for some specialty parts every now and then? Okay, yeah, not a problem. But what car kind of at this point that's a little bit older doesn't have that option? So for me, it was my heart was set on a GS. But then,
Well, so because you didn't have marketplace, I was the one who ended up having to
so I sent
message the
KT
guy.
on a quest, right? And I was like, "Listen, man, I need your help here. So we're gonna use your face. We're gonna use your name. Go ahead, start throwing out messages. I want to see if I can come in after you."
So we're like lowballing the shit out of everybody.
He was like, "Listen, I'll give you 900." I was like, "Whoa, whoa, whoa! Too far, lowball!" Like,
No, but this guy, I just reached out to him just with your basic, hey,
yeah.
you know,
Is this
I'm
still available?
interested.
Like,
Is it still available? And it wasn't the generic bot sort of
yeah,
response like, hi, is this available? We actually tried to keep it a little personal,
yeah, absolutely.
but reached out to the guy. He actually took a couple hours to respond, but he did respond and said yes eventually.
Yeah, he did.
And
That was well.
while he was taking his time responding. Of
Hmm.
course, we're still searching around, right?
Yeah.
So we ended up seeing a couple like SC300s, right? But
Mhm.
I think a lot of them were in like Tampa
Yeah, yeah,
or
ton of
South
them.
Florida.
Absolutely.
So deals are deals, but there were a couple of them that were a little out of the way.
Mhm.
So we were, and at this point we were just casually searching, right? We
Yeah.
weren't expecting to go buy a car the same
No,
day or
no,
anything
no.
like
We're
that.
like, dude, it was like 5, 6 o'clock. We were just hanging out. The girls weren't there. We were just watching some TV. We were just scrolling on Marketplace. Like I said, we were just BSing. We were kind of just going over like, man, what's the next build gonna look like? All these little options you talk about, like, I want a project car. And all of that's inside of the box, we're discussing. What do you want to do? How do you want it? What's most important to you when you build a project car? Like you said, good bones. It's got to have good bones, man. So,
So we end up stumbling across an IS300, and the
yep.
guy actually in his listing said, today only,
Yeah.
today only,
He
and
goes, I'm leaving today.
Mhm. and he had it at 2,900.
Hmm.
So we see it, and like, oh, this is an IS. It's not like a fully built one, but it's a project car, and
Yeah,
it
absolutely.
fits the budget.
Yeah.
And I show it to you, right? And you're like, yeah, that looks pretty good.
I was like, sure. I was like, why not? Let's see what we can do with
Like,
this.
all right, so I'll just message the guy just to see if he still has it, and he does. All right, so now we got our in. So now it's time to decide what to do next, right? Are we gonna negotiate? Are we gonna just go there, buy
Yeah.
the car as is? But you decided that you wanted to negotiate. Of
I'm a little
course.
more aggressive when it comes to the car buying market, right? I'm not the like, hey, I'm gonna make friends with you. Well, unless we're in person, right? If it's like Facebook or something like that, if it's a phone call, it's a little bit different because you can have a proper discussion. But via messages and everything like that, it's a little bit difficult to have that form of communication, right? Because that communication is important, especially if you're buying something from somebody that's, hey, it's got to have that good bones, it's got to drive, something like that. So, yeah, I went straight aggressive. I went straight for the kill.
So
And
so he told me that he wanted to offer this guy, what was it, like 2K or
I was
1900
like,
or something?
offer him. I was like, listen, KT, do me a favor, man. Let's go straight for the throat. Offer him 19. I'll come by and buy it right now. And then what
Yeah.
happened after
And
that?
mind you, this is what, like 5 o'clock, right? So
Yeah, yeah.
it's 5 o'clock. I offer the dude like 1900. A couple minutes go by. He responds back and he says 2500
Yeah,
today. It's
yeah.
yours, right? So we're like 2500. That's a little over the price range, but I was like, here you go, Chris. Like this is his asking price right here. So what do you want to do?
I'm just laughing because I'm reliving the moment. We're sitting on the couch and I'm like, no deal. Like, like off the bat, I'm just like, no deal. I'm like, we got to find something else. I
Yeah.
was like,
Back to the drawing board.
back to the drawing board. And then what does he do after that? After you say, you said something about
So
afterwards.
I'm like super nice, right?
Yeah, you're
I'm like
super kind, dude.
I'm like,
I gotta give you props. You're such a nice person. I love.
this is a little more than my budget right now, but if you still have it around, just let me know
Yeah.
for sure. So we just leave it at that, right? And then we're back to the drawing board. This is by now it's around like 7 o'clock or whatever. And then the wives come home.
Yeah, yeah. The wives come home, and then I think after you're trying to like talk to him a little bit more, he actually blocks you, right? He actually
Yeah.
he just like saw 1900 and he just like blocked KT. He was like, absolutely not. This dude's full of like he's like, I'm not gonna deal with it. I'm not gonna work with it.
Yeah, and so the only reason I found out I was blocked because this guy right here, he was like pondering on it. He was like, did
I was
that guy
like-
ever respond to
I
you
was
after
like,
you were being
did
nice?
he hear back from him? Because 2500 is not bad for that car. And he goes, yeah, I tried, but he blocked me. And so we just had to sit and lull in that for a little bit. And so after that, yeah, you're right. The wives got home. We started hanging out. I'm pondering more and more. And I'm like, well, let's think about it. Everybody lists something where they got out like, I have all the time, OBO, I'm not letting go. I know what I got. Like, I think those are my favorite words to see. I know what I got. I got a clapped out piece of shit. Like, but at the end of the day, it's funny because it's like, I was pondering. I was like, man, if he's got to get rid of it, respectfully, I still want a, project car, but it did seem like it had good bones. But I want to see more of it before I pull the trigger. I don't know. And I was like, KT, you got some time tonight? And he's
I mean,
like,
for me, I thought, hey, 25, that's actually not a bad deal. But this guy,
I have KT as the angel in my ear, like, hey man, listen, really think about this, like like the devil over my shoulder. He's like, come on, this guy's a piece of crap. We blocked him. KT's like, nah, man, listen, it's okay, let's go look at it.
so you know what happens is that he's still thinking about it, and in my head, I know this guy wants that car at this point. It's been marinating for like almost 2 hours.
Yeah,
and he
dude,
keeps asking me, hey, did that guy ever respond?
Yeah,
to you?
I have. I keep asking. The guy blocked him, so there's no way no form to communicate back with him because it's like
Yeah, he doesn't have a Facebook account.
No.
I just got blocked.
So I did the next best thing, and I was like, I talked to my wife, and I was like, hey, do me a favor, message this guy and see if this car's available. And so, of course, she messaged him, and she asked the same question: hey, is this thing still available? And can we come by and look at it? And the guy's like, listen, everyone's been, what did he say? He was like, everyone's been asking about pricing. No one's come to look at it. If you can be here to come and look at it, we'll talk. And so what do we do, man?
Yeah, I mean, a 9 o'clock on a
looked-
Sunday night.
I looked at KT and I really pondered, and I looked at my wife, and I looked at KT's wife, and I was like, you guys mind if I borrow him for a couple of So what did we do, man? I got his phone number. I called him. I was like, hey, I'm en route, man. Me and a buddy are en route. We jumped in the truck, man, and we started driving.
Lucky
And
for us, it was 45 minutes away.
It was.
Next town over, so it
it
wasn't
was-
that bad.
you're right. It was a couple towns over. We drove straight over. The guy literally showed us his phone. He's like, look, this is how many people have been. He's
I
like,
took
keep
a picture
scrolling.
of it.
Yeah, he keeps scrolling. He's like, this is how many people have been hitting me up. You guys are the first people out here. and we met up at a Dollar General. Man, took a look at it, and of course, like I said, and in over Facebook Marketplace, as I'm messaging people, I'm super aggressive about like lowball offers and stuff like that, because you never know what you're going to get without asking. And usually, people who are selling something are willing to work with you. If they're not, they'll just block you and you move on. But in person, I'm a little bit more of a communication. Like I like to talk to people. I like to get to know people. It's something where I guess I open up a little bit more, and that's where I get more comfortable. Because when I shake somebody's hand, we have like now a form of communication, a form of comfort. And I just asked him. I was like, "Dude, tell me about this car. Like, tell me what's going on." And then I sent KT over to start looking at it while I'm distracting the guy. Like it was like a 2-man operation. You guys should have seen it. Like
Yeah, you should have seen it. We rolled up to the Dollar General, and this car was like under a light.
it was so there was like 2 lights out in the parking lot. We're under one. This guy's under the other. Like we were just looking at each other.
But when I put eyes on that car, I said to myself, this car looks exactly like the photos. And if anybody has bought a car before, a used car, a marketplace, you know that the car never looks like the photos.
No, no.
The photos always make it look like a 10 out of 10, and you show up in person and it looks like a 3 out of 10.
I was expecting it to be like detailed. I was expecting to be like, no, the guy kept it exactly how it looked on
But
the
that's a
photos.
good thing, because we knew exactly what we were getting. It looked exactly like this,
It
right?
did,
You show up and there's like a hood missing.
yeah.
And no, it looked exactly
there's no
like the
windshield.
photos.
Like,
Yeah.
like the left tail lights out. Like, yeah.
Well, that right there was already like a good sign. I was like, all right,
Yeah.
we knew this car was a little rough, but it
Yeah.
actually looks as rough as it is in the photos in
Yeah.
person. So
Yeah.
that's a good sign right there.
So we're in there. We're at a Dollar General parking lot. Half the lights are out. We're looking at this thing. I hand KT a flashlight. I start talking to the guy. KT, what were you looking over, man, while I was just discussing everything with this guy?
Yeah, so I'm just crawling around the car, and we didn't bring a jack with us or anything at this
No, we
point.
didn't. We didn't.
And it was also like 9, almost 10
It
o'clock.
was like 10 o'clock at night
All we
when
have
we
is
got
the
there.
light in Dollar General and a flashlight in one hand. But I'm just doing kind of like the basic checks, right? So I'm looking to see what sort of oil leaks we have.
Yeah.
So looking at the front of the car, trying to catch any oil leaks on the ground, looking around, see if we have any rust spots. Just generally looking, what's the condition of the exterior paint, dings and dents.
Yeah.
Do we have really old tires?
Yeah.
So it's kind of like your basic checks if you were to buy any car. And obviously, without a lift, without the ability to do a full mechanical run through the car, you can only see what you can see.
Yeah.
But lucky for me, I own an IS, so I already knew what to look for.
So it was literally me not knowing anything about this car, because I haven't kept my eyes on it yet. I had KT looking around it. I was discussing with the guy. He was telling me the story. The car's from Texas. He had bought it, I don't know, a year or several months ago. He was going to use it as a parts car, but never did. Had a couple other projects, had a Supra, was working on other things with other cars. And he was like, hey man, I just don't have the time for it. We started getting a little more personal, talking about each other, lives, wives, and the rest of it that comes with, and kids. And like I said, it's that communication, it's that connection we started finding. Apparently, we were from the same neighborhoods, from the same area down south, and near Miami and all that. And we started discussing. And I asked the guy straight up, it's something I do with everybody. And of course, when you shop for a car, everyone wants to sell this thing. No, they'll try to hype it up, create this bubble. And the guy was like, listen, man, I'll tell you exactly what's going on here. Needs a wheel bearing. I'll tell you straight up. He's super honest. And that's something I can appreciate in somebody. It's not something you run into very often. When somebody starts, not shitting on their car, but telling you exactly what's wrong. Like, hey, the paint's not great. You guys can see it. Hey, listen, needs a wheel bearing. Hey, keep an eye out. It's going to need maintenance, this and that. But that conversation kind of led to like, all right, like why did you buy it? Why did it sit for so long? And the whole time, like I said, KT's going over this car, and I'm like, listen, then prior to this whole thing kind of starting, I gave KT like a little speech in the car. I was like, all right, man, listen, we came up with a code word. If anything goes wrong in this car and we just say,
all right, so we're done. We need to roll out. Chris doesn't need to spend any money on this car.
We should have got the GS300.
Yeah, he goes, man, we should have got the coder. Was he was gonna contact me like, hey Chris, man, we should have got that GS300 we were looking at, and that hey, or the coder was GS, it was like 300, something dumb like that. I don't know why I did that. It was just something funny in the
It was
moment.
a whole operation.
Yeah, we basically had earphones in and we were talking to each other the entire. No, I'm just, but it was just one of those things where I wanted to make sure it was fun, and as KT was looking over it, he was just saying good things, and then
We ended up going on a test drive.
yeah,
at
we
that
did.
point.
We did. It was a little rough on the test drive. It wasn't, but at the same time, I could feel that it wasn't stock suspension. Something was a little off, and you could tell like through the movements in the wheel, it just needs some tightening up, some new parts. Nothing too crazy, but I wasn't feeling any huge amounts of rat. Oh, there was something flapping in the wind that was bothering the hell out of me, and I was like, oh man, I think something's off with this car. So we looked under it, and it was just a plastic. It was one of the fender liners coming up and just slapping with the wind. And I was like, okay, that's nothing. We can cut that off or fix it and stuff like that. So after the actual test drive, it felt good. It pulled really good. It was a strong motor, started right up. We checked all the fluids. All the fluids were good. She was shifting, no issues with the transmission. The only unfortunate part about this car is it's not manual. I know. Hold the comments, no cheers. But that's what the manual swap is for. That's what we're gonna get into eventually. I could see the pain on your face. All right, don't even start with me. But we go down, had this adventure, had a couple of different conversations with the previous owner, and then shook some hands, and she's mine now. So this is my IS300.
And you actually saved a couple $100 because after all of that,
Yep,
got to know the
I
guy.
picked it up for
The
around.
guy was willing
Yeah,
to.
I talked to the guy. I was like, "Hey, man, listen, I came all the way out here. He's showing me this list of people who are lowballing him, assholes." Like, and so,
Oh,
and
we
so-
didn't even talk about it. But remember when we showed up, I was like, is he gonna recognize my face because I lowball?
KT was so worried. He was like, "Oh man, he's gonna recognize me, and he's gonna be like, that's the guy that lowballed me in $1,900." I was like, I can't believe. Then he's gonna get in the car, drive off. It's like, calm down, man. He's not gonna notice. He's probably receiving a ton of messages. And when he showed us, he literally scrolled like 4 pages long of people messaging and asking about pricing for the car. We were the only ones, first ones
actually
to show up,
Mhm.
check out the car, have a decent discussion and conversation with this guy. He was a really cool dude. Props to him. I was doing well in his future endeavors and future cars, man. Hopefully I can see you when this is all done. But this was what we picked up, man, and we drove it home with no license plate. 45 minutes. It cooled. It was pulling great. KT was behind me in my truck, and we showed up. I had a giant grin on my face, and I'm pulling it into my driveway, and of course, when I picked it up, this thing was to the floor, just dropped to the floor. So the first thing I did when I pulled it up, just like of course all of us has done, is you hear this screech. It's like what, 11 o'clock at night. I've drugged this guy out for almost like 3-4 hours away from his responsibilities, his wife. It's Sunday night. We both have work the next day, and like screech, and I back it in, and I'm just smiling ear to ear. KT, what do you got for this whole thing, man? And he's just laughing.
So I hear it while I'm in your truck and the windows are all rolled up in your truck and everything. And it's obvious
Oh
you
my
scrapes
God.
going up your driveway.
Oh my God.
But we got it parked, got out of the car,
Mm-hmm.
looked under, and it was the flange where the cat merged up with the actual catback
The
exhaust
catback exhaust,
portion.
yeah.
Yeah, so fortunately it was just that. Now, it wasn't horrible either. It was
No.
still a couple inches off the ground, but we already knew, that's something we got to fix, right?
Yeah. So
And in the whole process, while we were driving there, we already had like a laundry list of
Mhm.
items in your head, what you need to fix, what you want to do. The vision was there for
Oh,
you.
dude, it was. I was like, so I wasn't expecting to get an IS300. Like I told you from the very beginning, the GS was in my heart. It was just a good all around car. It's something. It's a platform I had familiar with. I had buddies with them. I've worked on it previously. This thing doesn't have a sticky dash, like all the ISs do. This thing had nice seats in the interior. They're a little rough looking. We're gonna, of course, post some, photos out and everything. We could use some work, but the bones were great. Everything about it was something that was easily to work on, and it's something that I'm excited to get started. And you have one, so of course I'm gonna, take parts off of his old one and go from there, and then eventually do the manual swap. And first thing what we did after that was actually look under it, and that's when we actually got a couple of surprises with that.
Yeah, for
So I
sure.
mean, like, so you walk us through that, man. Like we jack this thing up, we get under it, we start looking, and I'm like, all right, man, we gotta adjust the suspension. I can't drive this thing if it's slammed to the ground. It's driving me nuts. Someone, help me. It's, of course, call KT, get him over here, jack up the car, and we start going
so
through it.
I load up my racing jack in my car, the one I bought from Harbor Freight, years ago, which you don't own one, but now you do.
Yeah,
after that whole
didn't own
experience.
one. Yes, it's right there now. It's like,
But I bring all my tools over. We learned that you had coilovers. That's what the guy told us. So I brought my spanner wrenches. I brought pretty much everything I thought you would need over.
Yeah.
Right. So bring it over. We get the back in the air first.
Yes.
So we get the back in the air. We pull off the rear wheels, and first off, we confirmed that you actually do have coilovers.
Yes. First of all, we had to get through the locking lug nut wrenches that have no key. So first of all, for anyone who sells cars, come on, man, no key and locking lug nut wrenches. You can't bring this car anywhere to any Walmart, any Tire Kingdom, and for them to work on it. So now we know 17 millimeter is going to work on the car, and we'll just rip, and I'm just going to replace all of those as we go. We crack it. We look under the back, look at the diff, I'm hoping it's, an LSD locking diff. Unfortunately, it's an open diff, so that's just another part to add to the parts list.
But the suspension looked good. Didn't see any rust. I mean, obviously just 20 years old, but nothing looked corroded. Nothing looked broken.
Exactly. We didn't see, like you said, no rust. I didn't see any damage, any previous wrecks. The jacking points were a little messed up. It seems like the car had been jacked. For the last 20 years. It looks like someone had jacked this thing like 20 times a month. Like, it's just, they're all just sideways. Whatever they're doing. I don't know where the car's at, but we looked underneath it. We found some TN coilovers, some TN advents, and you had just put in some new ones on your car, which, by the way, hold on, I have a bone to pick somewhere for this. Who adds 3 TN coilovers to a car on one eBay special? Let's talk about this. Someone's got some explaining to do, sir. Like, this is,
you guys should have seen the look on our faces when we when we had pulled the wheels off, and I had to backtrack a little. When we first did it, we pulled the fronts off. Because we actually had to lift the front a little bit. So we had pulled the front 2 wheels off.
Correct.
And we're like, okay, there's a tain here, there's a tain on this side. Cool, we're good. Let's adjust it with the wrench.
I'm like wiping them down. I'm like, they're all green. I'm like, there's green under here. Let's check this out. I'm like, not the money green, but TN coilovers. I'm wiping them down. I'm like, hey, like, we're looking for the sticker. We found it. The TN Advance. And then we get to the back.
You saved like $500.
Yeah, I was like, cool. Yeah, then that's what I thought.
We're lifting it up. We're adjusting the collar, so you add about an inch on each side. So hopefully we don't scrape coming up the driveway anymore.
That was the prayer.
And we're all good on the front, so we put the front down. We flip the car over. So as you see it right now, then we had the back of it backed into his garage.
That's correct.
So we jack up the back and we pull off the left side first. So you pull off the left side, and you're like, okay, cool. Pain, whatever. We're adjusting the left side. All right, good on the left. And then
I'm sliding under the car at this point, just like adjusting and looking. It's got Megan Racing.
Oh, that's a nice little surprise. Yeah, Megan Racing, toe arms, adjustable toe arms
in the back.
So he's looking on the left side doing that stuff. I'm over on the right side, and I pull the wheel out.
All I hear is, what?
I'm like, dude, you gotta check this out.
He's like, hey man, like, we might have an issue. You might want to come take a look at this. I was like, oh no. I'm like, there's damage. There's some form of wreck. I was like, all right, let's go take a look.
I'm like, like this isn't green, right? This is like bluish color. The spring. On the coil.
Spring.
Like, this is blue, right? This isn't green.
And I'm looking over, and we start wiping it down, and all the gray comes off, so it's all red. And I'm like, oh man, we got an eBay special. Someone went online, bought one coilover for $700 or $70 and slap that thing in there. We don't know what kind of coilover it is. I'm gonna take some photos of it and we'll kind of try and wipe it down. But it might be something else as we kind of go along. But that's the surprises we found underneath it so far, and that was a very interesting, very fun day that we went over. So got the car raised. It's not scraping on my driveway anymore, so good on us. And now, man, it's just been sitting. I've been wiping her down. Today's her first bath, and this is what she looks like.
You've been building your parts list, and
I've
you've
been,
been
yes.
kind of making a list of things you want to do.
Yeah, man.
Let's go through that. So, like, maintenance was a really big thing for you. First thing is just to
Huge.
get it running solid.
Yeah, well, of course, you got to get the car, put in your name. You got to go to the DMV. That was the whole process, dude. I
Yeah.
can't believe how expensive it is right now to put cars in your name. By the way, it used to be like 150, $200. Now they're charging like insane amounts just to put a car in your name. I was like, man, Florida's making some money off of us. I'll tell you that. So, but then in reality, yes, finding the parts list, maintenance, super important to me. Looking at the timing belt, looking at water pump, looking at the tensioner. Of course, we have found a slight oil leak up front, so I'm thinking it's coming from one of the cam or crank seals. So or that valve cover gaskets. A lot of failure points on the car. Of course, is that front ball joints. So I'm gonna make sure the lower ball joints we're gonna be replacing, and going from there. But yeah, building that parts list now. Of course, you watch the money climb while you build these parts lists. I've hid it from my wife as long as I can, and she saw it the other day and was like, "Wow!" I was like, "Yeah, it's gonna be fun. Can't wait for you to ride it."
But we both collectively see the vision,
Absolutely, man.
and that's why you have it. And we know it's going to be a process. There's going to be
Yes,
some trials, tribulations. There's a lot of
absolutely.
learning. There's going to be a lot of just like sweaty, greasy nights.
Tien, if you see this, please sell me one coilover for the rear. Please sell me one coilover for the rear. That's it. That's all I need. I just want to complete the set of Tiens. Like, please. If not, I'll have to buy 2 or 4. We'll talk about it. But yeah, man. The vision's there. I've been looking at a couple local guys here in Orlando, trying to see what we can do about this paint, get this fixed up. But of course, I want to make her healthy. I want to make sure she's driving. Maintenance first, of course, is always my first go-to, especially with these cars. It's got the 2JZGE in it. And then of course we're gonna be junkyard hopping, looking for those big brake swaps
Yeah,
from the
I'm looking
LS
forward to that.
400. We're
Yeah.
looking for,
New door
a
handle.
new door. So first, well, the first rides we go on, me and KT, what do? We go to the parts
We
store.
were going to
We go-
AutoZone to get
so-
a new tail light bulb or something.
Yeah, we were going to get a taillight bulb. I was working on a Civic for some family, doing some work, and she had an out taillight. So I was like, hey, let's take the IS. Let's go for a drive. So we go for a drive. Everything's great. We're jamming. It's got like a nice Android Auto on the inside. And I was like, this is nice, man. If you saw our other videos, I told you the only thing I need in my car is Bluetooth, and it has it. So I was like, perfect. So we're riding, everything's good. KT goes to get out of the car, but dude, you gotta explain from your because from my point of view, he grabs the handle, and I'm just turning the car off, and all I hear is. I
Yeah.
was like,
So
I look at the
I'm
key,
in the
and I'm
passenger
like,
seat, and I'm like, like you would do in every single car. You grab the handle to get out, and I grab it, and I'm like,
the handle goes.
so it's completely
it's
snapped and having like
It's
dangling
dangling right now on
by the
inside.
chrome little
Oh
paint.
my god! And like, so he does this, right? He opens the door, he goes, and then he looks over at me. and he looks over at me with like the eyes like this, and I look at him and I just start laughing because like it's a project, man. Of course, at the end of the day, our buddies have probably broken something, ding something, and at the end of the day, dude, it's all about the love cars, dude. Shit happens. Like I told you, at the end of the day, I don't care if as long as you didn't snap glass or anything on it, we're fine. Like you're just, dude, we'll find another one via junkyard, have some fun, and just go from there. I'll just make you paint it. Make you put it in with me. There we go. That's your labor. But yeah, man, that's the fun, man. I'm actually excited. It's the first project since my E36, so I can't wait to do it. I've been talking to a bunch of guys, doing a lot of research. There's tons of stuff I want to do to it. You with yours right now, you're redoing your whole suspension. You're basically you're gonna have a nice ride here in a few. Just a dream to drive here in a few. So
Yeah,
that's
I
gonna be
hope so.
nice. What step are you on right now with yours, man?
Yeah, so I've been rebuilding the suspension and I'm on the rear suspension right now.
Yeah.
So I had finished up getting all the fueling. I had
Hmm.
put all that back into place, my subframes back into place. So my front subframe is replaced with all
Yeah.
polyurethane
Yeah.
bushings,
Gotcha.
just on the subframe mounts and the differential mounts.
Which, by the way, I'd like to point out. Can you explain how you're putting in these polyurethane bushings? Because I think it's important for you guys to know that we don't have a lift, we don't have a shop. We're doing this out of the garage, man. So please explain how you've been doing this the whole time. This guy,
So
so
it was very
oh
painful, but you
man,
got to do what you got to do,
oh
right?
my goodness.
So I had a Harbor Freight ball joint replacement kit that I've owned for years, and you know, I'm it's basically a gigantic C clamp.
Yeah, that's basically what you've been using.
Yeah, a gigantic C clamp, and I'm trying to press out bushings with this gigantic C clamp, and it is not easy at all.
Dude, I could just imagine the amount of curse words coming out of your mouth while you're trying to get this damn ball joint in, these
Well,
polyurethane.
you know what happened is
The
that we
bushings, I'm
ended up
sorry.
buying a press, so
Yes, we did.
we have a 20-ton hydraulic press coming from Amazon. So
Yep.
that'll be here in a couple days, and it's going to be really helpful for all the rest of my rear suspension, and then obviously for your suspension, and hopefully going forward when we get other projects.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that talks a little bit about, like, I think we were talking about cars and like what we want to do and going around. We want to do some more meets and go around and meet people, get them involved and do what we keep talking about and be a part of that culture and that community. I think community is really important when it comes to cars. If I didn't know KT, I don't think I would have gotten this car. And I'm really grateful. So at the end of the day, it's going to be fun as we do the ball joints, the bushings, all and use that press to all of its degree and probably resell it after we're done. And little things like that. It's always nice to have a hand while you're working on cars. I think it's important that even for people who don't know how to work on cars, if you know somebody, ask them to help out every now and then, or be that friend that asks other people who don't know. uh, I'm just excited to dig into this, man. I'm gonna be honest. I'm excited to get this timing set done, valve cover, get this oil leak fixed up, really get this thing running at 100, and then of course it's gonna be on to the fun stuff. And
Yeah.
then fun stuff meaning I can get 4 of the same rims, and it's got G35 rims on the front. It's got standard stock Lexus rims on the back.
Oh, and the tire.
And the tire. Oh, okay, here's another bone to pick. We got 2. Okay, not only the suspension. All right, who adds 3 tins? Not just that, and 1 eBay special. So these tires are
Directional tires.
single direction tires. Yes, they're directionals basically. And somebody installed a directional tire backwards. Guys, I drove this car for 45 minutes home. I can't explain how that could have gone wrong really fast. Basically, the bead of the tire could have just broken. It could have cracked. It could have done several things. I had to take this tire off. Because of the locking lug nuts, I couldn't take it anywhere. So now I had to take the tire off, throw it in the truck, drive over Walmart. You got a great auto care center. Those guys didn't charge me a thing. It was nice. They flipped the tire over, put it back on, sealed it, resealed the bead, and I got it on the car. So she is perfect now on all 4 tires. Just need some work to do. But the guy actually recently did brakes to the thing, so the brakes are all clean. There's new hubs,
Yeah, brand new calipers.
brand new calipers, brand new hubs on them. Everything's looking good. There's a couple things we got to adjust, but yeah, man, get into this project's exciting because now you start thinking like those parts lists. You start thinking of what can I make this? I could drift with this. I could drag with this. I could just make this a really
Clean street build.
clean street build, a monster. It's got the 2JZ GE in it, which has a lot of those aftermarket parts. I can make sure it's turbo happening. I can make sure I get rid of that ugly
air intake system that goes over the top of the motor happening. Like, so it's just all of the options you talk about. And it's really fun because when we got this, it was a full experience for us. Of course, we had work the next day, and both of us are like going to work like this because we're like half asleep. We're so excited talking about the whole drive back. I'm on the phone with you, and I'm like, hey man, like, what do you think? Like, how's it looking? Is it driving good? I do a couple pulls on the highway, and he's like, dude, it's smooth. It sounds good. There's this crazy rattling coming from the inside. We got rid of the plastic, and it's fun, man. It's what project cars are all about. It doesn't matter where you start. It doesn't matter at what tier you start at. Of course, this was, what it is. It's the purchase I made, and I'm extremely happy with it. Yes, am I excited to not drip oil on my driveway? Absolutely. But I think it's going to be really fun for the future as me and you go along with this one, with yours.
Yeah, we'll break more things.
Yeah, we're probably, dude, you're going to hear about the stories of us snapping stuff, busting our knuckles, start really having some fun with it. And we're going to see some content as we dig deep into this stuff and start really getting into this build.
Yeah.
And hey, you never know. It might be a time for us to get another motor at one point and start building that up. Maybe a couple. We'll see. It really depends on how we're going to go with it. But I'm really excited to make this thing happen and have some fun and have some guys who maybe aren't too much into cars, bring them along, maybe have them join us and go from there and see what kind of they do. Well, you have a funnier car buying story than that?
Well, I just wanted to talk a little bit about car buying in 2026 because we talked about it a little bit at the very beginning.
Yeah, we did.
But when we were talking about buying that day, you were asking me, where do people buy cars these days? Because back in our day, it was like Craigslist, right?
100%. Absolutely.
And it was either that or you'd either have to drive around and see a for sale sign on the car.
Yeah, you go to all the rich neighborhoods first. That was the rule, right? Because you want to see what someone was giving their son up for a deal after they bought him a new car. That was the rich neighborhood. You want to go to all the neighborhoods just around. People had cars like at the local auto zones, O'Reilly's,
mechanic shops.
Mechanic shops.
He's like, hey, I just don't want to fix it anymore. I'm gonna put it for sale. I'll buy it from the owner and put it for sale.
Absolutely. And we that's it, I asked you about car buying because I was all over Craigslist at first. I was all over
OfferUp too.
OfferUp. I was looking at like, hey, where can I find? Because I found my previous E36 on OfferUp, and I was like, where can I find this? And he was like, dude, you got to go to Facebook Marketplace.
It's the new Craigslist.
Oh man, I know. And that's all.
It was a miserable experience, but at the end of the day, it did its job. You got your project car.
No, it was a good experience, man. I think we had a bunch of fun. I think the drive there. So let's talk about the drive there just a little bit, just to bring us back a couple steps, because I want to talk about the excitement that we both had, that we were both going there. First of all, KT wasn't even buying the car and he was excited. And I was just excited because I was like, hey, we're going to look at a car. Both of our wives were not excited about this. I just want to point that out. Mine especially, but she's very happy with the purchase. She can't wait to see what it's going to turn into in the future. So that's going to be the craziest thing. But like you were saying, man, you want to talk a little bit more about that?
Yeah, that buying experience. I mean, it was a different platform back then, but when you think about it, it was the same thing, right? Once we showed up in person, talked to the guy, got to know him, got to know his car, got to know why he's selling his car.
Yeah.
All of that. It's just the human interaction. Everybody nowadays wants to get the best price and just know what they're getting before they show up. But
welcome to Orlando.
Anyways,
what were you saying? Listen, if you haven't bought Spanish ice cream or from a Spanish ice cream truck, you haven't lived.
If you guys didn't see that, it was like just a red Chrysler minivan. It wasn't like an ice cream truck. It was a red Chrysler minivan with the microphone strapped to the top of it.
That was a person talking. That was there wasn't a recording. There was actually an MC in that vehicle, like in Spanish going around. Oh man, but yeah, like you were saying.
Everybody wants the best price on a car,
dude. Of course,
naturally. So you just want to know what you're paying up front before you go and show up, right? Natural. But at the end of the day, you're fighting 30 other guys like that guy showing up.
Absolutely.
So it was actually to our benefit to show up in person, have a little bit of a conversation. He trusts us, we trust him, and that point, he was willing to make a deal with us, right? You know,
Yeah, and I think
we weren't gonna lowball him in his face. That's pretty insulting. But you know, I mean, I wasn't gonna lowball
I
him,
thought about it.
but he was willing to work with us. You know, that
Yeah.
price wasn't the price anymore. Once
Yeah.
you realize, hey, these guys are serious about buying this car. These guys aren't just keyboard warriors, just sending me messages.
Yeah, exactly. And I think that's important. Like a lot of people forget these days. Like you can send all the messages online. You can really like lowball everybody you can. But until you get there and look at the car, like don't forget you're actually talking to another person who might have invested a ton of time, a ton of like love and effort into a car. Like some people don't care. I get that. That's the first side of me on that keyboard warrior side, right? It's like I'm gonna lowball you and go from there. But it's also like please don't forget the fact that you are buying something that's you're going to turn into something as a labor of love, and you're going to turn into something that this is going to carry you wherever you're going to go to the next one. And if you think about it, having that conversation in person is going to be way more important. I've known guys being able to communicate via message and get them down and wear them down as much as they can. That's our opener.
Yes.
Girls and boys, get the ice cream. Welcome to Orlando.
Oh, he has a generator strapped
He's
onto
a
the
generator. Dude, I wish we could record this right now. And he stops right there, didn't he?
He sees me making eye contact.
Are you thinking about getting ice cream?
Oh, he's gone now. He knew he knew this guy might.
Dude, that's yeah, no, dude, it was just funny. Man. So, like I said, we're filming in my garage. Like, we're not gonna show you guys anything different. This is real. This is what it is. We got the car. I'm super excited to start in the future. Yes, it needs paint. Yes, it needs some maintenance. But hell yeah, I'm excited to drive this thing every day with an oil leak. That's what it is, man.
Yeah, that's what it's about. That's why we love cars.
And I don't think the guy would have worked with us on price unless we shook hands and talked about it, man. He's a real cool dude, and props to him. Like I said, in the future, hopefully we can see him out and show him what this thing turned into.
Yeah, I'm excited for you. We're gonna make a lot more content. We're gonna have a lot more fun. We're gonna, go to shows like we want to do. We're gonna be able to do so much more now that you actually have something that you can wrench on and build to your dream, basically.
Yeah, absolutely, man. I'm gonna you went suspension first. That was your goal. Get all of that straightened out. I'm gonna go motor first, and then, like I said, if I need to pick up another one, we'll start upgrading that, and I will slowly start doing suspension work and maintenance work and making sure we're good to go. But guys, tell me what you think. She's not pretty, but she is a car.
She's a car.
She is a 2JZ GE with rear wheel drive and automatic. I know I'm going to get hate in the comments on the automatic side, but that's fine. I can't wait to do the swap, show you guys how it's going to be done, and we just get to go with it, man. I can't wait for the junkyard hopping, the future that becomes for anybody that wants that project car. Listen, man, don't let those conversations stop you with the ice cream trucks yelling in your ear. Let's have some fun, have good conversations with people, get to know them, and understand how people think, man. This is how it goes. Yeah, man, we had some fun. I can't wait.
Yeah, for
Welcome,
sure.
guys. Welcome back to Heat Soak. This is exactly how it is. And this is my IS300. Thank you.
See you next time.
See ya. Don't forget, click, like, subscribe, watch our videos, maybe reels.
Ice cream guy.
Follow the ice cream guy at El Guarrito.